Hello there, my YouTube family. Hello there. I am Helen Sattler, your destiny helper. Thank you for joining me. And thank you for all of those who are emailing me with the problems that you have and the subjects that you want, and that these programs are really, really helping you. It is my joy that they are assisting you. Thank you so much. I want you to like, share the page, and make sure you are subscribed if you have not subscribed to this channel. Push that bell, and every time I come on live or come on, you will be alerted. Thank you so much. I want to talk to you because many of you are wondering what happens if you confront the narcissist. Well, if you notice that when you met the narcissist and they love bombed you, it was constant eye contact. They looked you in the eye and they looked like they was totally interested in what you were saying. But when you confront a narcissist, they can't look you in the eye. They get irritated, agitated. They turn the tables around. And based on the class of narcissists, it can be quite dangerous. For instance, if they are a lower narcissist, they are very reactive. That means while you're confronting them, they may exert to physical violence. That's the lower narcissist. Or if you have a covert narcissist, they go back to scheming. They turn the tables around. They deflect what you are accusing them of and asking them to be responsible for and accountable. They turn it and say, that was not me, that was you. And you say, no, you did this. And they say, how you know I did that? You did this. I was there when you did it. They start to gaslight. And you was like, no, how you going to tell me that I'm doing this and I'm confronting you? You're confronting me and you say, that is very narcissistic. And they say, yeah, because you're the narcissist. And this is why you're the narcissist. And they go on and on and on and on about what you do, and you never get back to them. You have a cerebral narcissist. They're very manipulative, very calculative. If you have a somatic narcissist, what the somatic narcissists do is say, you always accuse me. I think you're slightly jealous because, and they go into that. Now, if you have the malignant narcissist, they scheme for your life. It can be quite devastating. Is it worth confronting a narcissist? Is it worth bringing up a problem to a narcissist? Sometimes it is not. You have to weigh out the situation, knowing the character of what you've been through, especially if you've lived with them or you've been with them a certain amount of time. They have exuberated a pattern of behavior. And sometimes you have to be very, very careful about confronting a narcissist, because they're going to act out of the class of their behavior. And a narcissist is not going to take blame. They're going to shift the blame. They're going to throw the blame. They're going to change it to what you've done wrong. They're going to word salad you. You're never going to reach a conclusion. You're never going to come to the end of that conversation, because they're going to always go back. And one thing about the narcissist, if the narcissists know that it's the end of the day, they're going to do a continuum. They're going to keep on and on and on. And some narcissists, they can't look you in the eye. They will walk away. They will just walk away and not deal with it. Why? Because the narcissists don't want to confront the internal them, the true them. They would turn it to you, because the narcissists know internally who they are, what they are, and they know that they are accountable. But because of irresponsibility and the lack of maturity, they're not going to own up to it. So is it wise to confront a narcissist? Sometimes it's best to walk away. Sometimes it's best to leave it alone. Sometimes you have to strategize with the occurrence. Is it worth it? How can I strategize beyond this? Because being with the narcissists that never confront themselves, that never confront the issues, that always deflect a problem, it may be wise for your health's sake, especially when you know the narcissist can become physically violent. It is not worth it. Believe me, it is not worth it. And you are looking at them as if it's a normal operation. In a normal relationship, you should be able to mutually agree to disagree. In a irregular relationship, like with living with a narcissist, it can be quite dangerous, especially if they're psychopathic, especially if they're malignant, especially if they're lower narcissists or the lower mid narcissists. They can go to violence because they are very reactive. And a lot of times when they are violent and after the violence, the narcissists realize what they've done. It's almost like they have a blackout moment. And in that blackout moment, you are being physically violated, verbally violated. The narcissists go on and on and on. And usually when you confront them, they may even start a smear campaign with your family, calling you on your job. How dare you say that I did this? How dare you confront me? And you know that you can't be receiving personal calls. They know that you can't be receiving personal calls on your job. And guess what? They give you personal calls on your job because they are trying to agitate you. They are trying to make things worse for you. They are trying to make it impossible, to impose the extreme amount of stress on your body, on your mind, because the lesson is, don't you ever confront me again over anything that I do, over anything that I say. You just let it go. And if you can't let it go and you think it's worth confronting, then you have to be the one to use wisdom, because you got to know that the narcissist has no change in mind. They're planning to be the same. After you confront them is usually worse. There's worse torment. There's worse devaluation. If they're physically violating you, they're going to physically violate you more. Of course, there's apologies, because if they're living in the house, and you are paying all the bills, you are providing all the substance, then of course they need a place to stay. And the narcissists want to teach you a lesson, especially when you have children, because if there's physical violation, it startles the kids. It makes the kids feel helpless. It makes the kids, they want to help, but they can't. They don't know what to do. Mom or dad, be wise when you are confronting the narcissist, because by then you've lived with the narcissist long enough for the mask to fall off. It may not be worth the confrontation. Your physical protection means more than being violated over a situation. Now this situation can conclude to what I'm going to do after that. Because if you can't confront them over situations, it's an argument over situation, it's physical abuse, it's psychological abuse, it's financial abuse, it's discard, and then they come back after a while, they will put you in a mode where you're already walking on eggshells and you don't know what to do. Why? Because you can't confront a situation. So that means they basically can do anything they want to do. That is not a relationship. That is a situationship. And you have to make up in your mind your worth and your value. Are you going to continue that? Or what is your strategy of doing something about it? You say, well, what can I do about it? You can do a lot about it. You can make decisions to your boundaries. You can make decisions to go, you won't go beyond this. You can make a decision that I will not allow this level of violation anymore. And so what does that conclude? That can conclude a lot of things. It may conclude that the relationship may be over. It may conclude that you may have to hold those boundaries, which narcissists are not going to agree because they always extend beyond your boundaries. But you have to hold to your value system, but you have to know your worth in order to hold to your value system. You know, God has fearfully and made us. He has made us fearfully and wonderfully. And what he means fearfully, you are made with such awe, and your level of intelligence is the mind of Christ. Then you have to think on that line. But when you have left that for the narcissist and you have to re-gear that for yourself and rebuild your relationship, then it's going to take effort. That means you got to solidify those boundaries. You have to conclude those boundaries to stay in place. You have to conclude that this will not be violated. I will not allow an exceeding beyond this point. And that can be difficult when you're living with a narcissist. That can be difficult when you are in your emotions and your emotions are calibrated to they are in the forefront, and you allow a dictatorialship from your emotions to dictate the relationship. You're going to always lose. You have to dictate the relationship with wisdom and intelligence instead of feelings and emotions, because your emotions can change at a drop of a hat. Because once you start to be gaslighted by the narcissist and you don't know what the reality is, or the narcissist threaten, I will leave you if you ever confront me again like this. I would never come back. You're giving me to somebody else. I don't want anybody else, but you're going to make me go to someone else. Those threats is to cause you to back down and not to confront them. When the narcissist is irresponsible and fail the test of accountability, and you are afraid of losing them, it does not become a win-win situation. You got to be bold enough to say that we must deal with this whether you stay or leave. We must deal with this whether you believe it or not. But we have to deal with this. The narcissists take their clothes and they walk out. But you notice the whole time they could not look you in the face. When there was a time, you couldn't get them out of your face. Confrontation to a narcissist is an injury. Decide where your boundaries are and you solidify your stance. Yes, it's difficult, and yes, it can be costly, but it can be equally as costly when you confront a narcissist. Know their capacity. They built a pattern in your life. You know what they're capable of doing. Don't risk your life or the children. Sometimes you have to walk away until another strategy come. I'm Helen Sadler, your destiny helper. Make sure you write me, Helen Sadler. Make sure you write me Destiny Helper 12s at gmail.com. Destiny Helper 12s at gmail.com. There is a way out, and it may not be easy, but it's very possible. And you're strong enough to make the right decision, and you know what that is. Write me. I want to hear you. God bless.